new film Alone. Again, it's myself, Daniel Seymour, with my father, Jerry Seymour. How are you doing,
Hello,
Dad?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, well, this one's interesting because this is the first time we saw a movie on here that neither of us has seen before. And I don't know about you, but I didn't get any trailers for this. Did you?
No, I don't remember any trailers at all.
Yeah, I think like the first time we heard about it, it was when we looked up to see what was on at the drive-in.
And then we looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes, which said it was a good film.
Yeah, we just checked it on Rotten Tomatoes to see what the hell it was, essentially. Uh, Well, to give a short overview of this movie, it's essentially a kidnapping, escape, and hunt in the woods movie. Kind of similar to, I guess, a dangerous game or something. Um, I guess we should get right into it then. I thought this movie was actually pretty good. What did you think?
I did too. One of the things I liked about the movie was the girl in the movie who was ultimately kidnapped and then
Yeah, the main
escaped
character.
in the woods. The main character didn't seem to make any bad choices throughout the whole movie.
No, that was what like essentially she's going on a road trip alone. A guy comes and she runs into him a few times, but she actually like I think the second time even, or definitely the third time she runs into him, she's really freaked out by it,
Yes.
uh, and doesn't do anything stupid or I mean, you could say some of her choices weren't the right ones in the end, but nothing completely unreasonable.
No. Uh, and in fact, they were all choices I think that the average person would have made.
Yeah, like I said, obviously she gets kidnapped at one point,
Yeah.
and then
But that was because she got a flat tire.
well, that's because the guy knifed her tire.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was kind of interesting because there's only really I think three characters in this movie. Uh, I guess there's a bit more, but there's only really three actors that ever show up on screen: the girl, the murder person, and another person that she kind of bumps into while she's escaping. Uh, if I remember correctly, I think some other people show up in background shots, but that's about it. It takes, I think, like a very minimalist approach to a lot of this.
Yes,
Uh huh.
yes.
Um.
And
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, she from the very beginning is skeptical of this guy who comes up and tries to meet her.
Yeah.
And she's basically trying to get away. You had the scene on the road where she makes a choice to pass him, which would be a normal choice because he was going so slow, and then he, accelerates, and
Mhm.
she makes a choice to get back in by going in front of him.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
have. Um. And then she like runs into him. Uh, at like a gas station and he apologizes and then she runs into him like I think two more times and each time she's more and more freaked out by it until
but
yeah
even on the time she apologizes,
yeah
uh,
he
she's
apologizes
real skeptical.
yeah she's
She's real skeptical of him.
yeah I mean I thought that was pretty interesting the way they did it. I think I don't know who plays her the woman in it and I don't even know if the character actually has a name or if they say it in the movie or not. They might have at one or two points. She like talks on the phones to her parents, uh, and but I think she does a really good job. And I think the guy that captures her does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Uh, One of the things I actually really liked about the performance is the guy who captures her never is very flat throughout it all. He's creepy, but he's very flat, very mellow, very
Hmm.
just kind of there. He never like he doesn't really do anything or yell in anger. He does yell at one point in the movie, but it's more just him raising his voice so she can hear him compared to anything. And I found that like really interesting.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, even when she does stuff to intentionally provoke him, he doesn't get a very big she doesn't get it. She doesn't really get a response out of him.
Yeah.
He's just kind of very still mellow and not changing. Even when he's attacking people or attacking her, he's still very in control uh, and not screaming or anything.
No, the both characters I think seem to play it uh, very like an average person would.
Yeah,
there wasn't anything extreme or anything about it. I mean, almost all her choices are average. Were average choices. One time she's going to make a choice whether she's going to run into the river or not. I think in most cases, most people would have done what she did, jumped in, even though she knew that she may not make it out.
Yeah, she was trying to escape the guy who,
Yeah.
at that point, when she gets kidnapped after the drive, she gets kidnapped, she gets in, she escapes, and then the majority of the movie takes place in the woods with her trying to get out of the woods and escape from him who's hunting her down. Um, what is how? What was I gonna say? Uh, were there any particular scenes you really liked in this?
Uh, I don't know. I liked her as a character.
Hmm.
Uh, the I can't say that there were. I thought that
Hmm.
the screening of the movie was good. The photography was good. The woods looked good in the
Yeah,
movie. Um,
I found that like I think it was good for the most part, but sometimes I just think it was a bit flat.
mhm.
Some of the which I get they didn't really have any style because in it, which I thought it could have maybe used a bit more because it was just trying to be straightforward. I think it's only about 90 minutes, so it's
Yeah.
pretty short. Uh,
And even the guy that came that she meets in the woods
mhm.
acted normally. I mean, the person would normally act in the thing. He was skeptical of the woman, especially after she attacks him at the beginning.
Yeah,
Uh, but then he comes to her help, and then he realizes at the end that the guy is just trying to bullshit him.
yeah. Well, he realizes he thinks she's crazy at first, but then realizes well he doesn't. Uh, you
Yeah.
okay there?
Yes.
Well, she thinks he's kind of crazy at first, but then she realizes like he's actually in danger of either hurting herself because she doesn't have any shoes on. Uh, he when they run into and they have all three of them there. The guy, the main villain, the girl, and the guy the hunter that's helping her. Uh, he's very much like he doesn't know who to believe. It's very believable. They actually think of something clever. They think of a clever way to like get him to
Hmm.
be able to check on it pretty
Yeah.
well.
Hmm.
Uh, but I think
Yeah.
like even the villain in this doesn't really do anything stupid.
No.
He's very uh, he's very just kind of a normal like it. All the reactions into what's happening seem very normal to me and very natural. I
Yeah.
guess of that kind of situation, if you can consider like being having a serial killer kidnap you and put you in a cabin in the woods and then escaping normal.
Yeah.
Uh, one of the things I want to talk about because I didn't like that it was minor is they had like these weird like title cards that would pop up that would be like forest, drive, rain.
Yeah.
I just thought that
Yeah.
was really like it didn't fit the movie
No.
and
And
it
in
just
fact, the rain popped up, and it was a while before we seen any rain.
yeah, like I said it popped up and I'm like is there rain? And I don't believe the next scene it was rain.
No.
Which also like that's one of the weaker scenes in my opinion because it shows her and she gets hit by I think like shot, but you don't really know where she gets shot at.
Yeah.
It only I think grazed her, but you couldn't really tell. Uh, which most of the like blood and gore in this movie, there's a bit is pretty well done. It's pretty nasty. It's pretty realistic injuries.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I thought that was just kind of an unusual choice to
Hmm.
have that done. It just kind of took me out of the movie when that happened.
Yes.
Were there any like real complaints you have about it?
No, I think that that is a true one. The one that, they said rain, and then it was a good while before we saw the rain.
Yeah. Uh huh.
And actually, the rain comes after a sunny scene that just sort of breaks in there with rain,
Yeah.
which was okay, but you were expecting rain the whole time, and rain in the movie wasn't anything special. It was just another hazard.
Yeah. It just kind of limited the visibility of things. It didn't
Yeah.
really. They didn't really use it too well or anything, in my opinion. Uh, that was the big one that I had problems with, just because it kind of seemed to come out of nowhere, and uh, I remember it, but I just didn't think it was that well executed. Uh, with everything else being executed pretty well, uh, the the action scenes pretty well, the hiding scenes pretty well.
Mhm.
Uh,
The where she was locked in the basement and
yeah,
how she escaped was a reasonable way to escape,
yeah,
and took some ingenuity on her part, and but it was a reasonable.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, like I said, I don't have too much more to say on this one. Do you have anything else to say?
No, the thing that I thought is that they took sort of an ordinary, somewhat of an ordinary type of circumstance, and I shouldn't say ordinary because you have a kidnapping and everything,
Yeah.
but everybody in the movie acted correctly. There wasn't any, the villain didn't get him in trouble because he was real villainous. Uh, the woman was smart, but not extraordinarily smart. She made choices that the average person would have made. Uh, I thought, uh, and uh, there was nothing that was out of the ordinary, and yet they were able to make a good movie out of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree there. I didn't. I thought it was a solid movie. It was kind of fun also being outside it. We saw this at a drive-in again, uh, and it was kind of fun being outside. You see the movie that mostly takes place outside, and for the most part uses the environment to a relatively good effect.
Yes.
So I definitely recommend you checking it out in theaters if it's around you, or especially if you have a drive-in or something. It's a solid thriller.
Yes.
Okay, I think that about wraps it up. Unless you have anything more to say.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, well, thank everybody for watching, and if you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe. And thank you all, and have a nice day.